shots for the solid Detroit Red Wings, while down by the Gateway Arch, it's Demers' successor, the more stoic Jacques Martin, maintaining steadiness as head coach of the St. Louis Blues. Game 1 of the Norris Division Final on Tuesday produced a 5-4 Detroit win, with rugged Jim Nill exciting his coach and Joe Louis Arena with his 5th playoff goal. Unfortunately, Sean Burr, the Wings' best defensive center, is now a question mark tonight following a concussion during practice yesterday. That'll put more pressure on goalie Greg Steffen, who's now over the flu and looking to give Detroit a 2-game lead to take to St. Louis. At the other end of the ice, the Blues' hopes for a split in Detroit rest mostly on the shoulders of goalie Greg Millen. Yes, it's Jacques versus Jacques at Joe Louis Arena. The Norris Division Final continues tonight to see which team, the Blues or the Red Wings, come through with a ticket to victory in game number 2. ESPN, the network of the National Hockey League, presents the road to the Stanley Cup, the oldest trophy competed for by professional athletes. The Stanley Cup playoffs, the most grueling competition both mentally and physically in all of athletics. Who will be the sole survivor come the end of May? Tonight, ESPN's Road to the Cup continues. It's a Norris Division Final. Tonight, live from Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, it's Game 2 between the St. Louis Blues and the Detroit Red Wings.
On the banks of the Detroit River in the Motor City. Good evening, everyone. ESPN's coverage of the road to the Stanley Cup continues. Along with Bill Clement, I'm Mike Emmerich. Tonight, the Detroit Red Wings and the St. Louis Blues. And Bill, if we were to turn the clock back about 20 years and go over to the old Olympia Stadium, we'd probably be making a statement right now about what a great playoff Hall is having.
But it's a different Hall, isn't it? And it's Brett Hall. He is the player that the St. Louis Blues acquired from the Calgary Flames late in the hockey season to really help them with a problem. And that problem was goal scoring and coming from behind. No one in the playoffs has scored, so far, more goals than Brett Hall. He has done exactly what the Blues have asked of him.
Injuries have caused problems to the Canadians, but also to the Detroit Red Wings. They don't have Yzerman. They don't have Burr, who helps take up the slack.
Adam Oates has helped take up the slack. Yzerman is their offensive king, their offensive leader, and when he went down with a knee in early March, Jacques Demers said somebody has to start coming through. Well, it doesn't take long to find Adam Oates' name on the scoring list in the NHL playoffs. He is number 2 behind Mark Messier. So the story tonight offensively will be the story of Hall and Oates.
Right. And the story, of course, in playoffs is always the goaltending, the guy with the happy feet for St. Louis.
Greg Millen. You know, he was left alone as the number 1 guy in St. Louis when that deal was consummated with Calgary, but he responds to the challenge. He's played very well.
And Greg Steffen will be the big man for Detroit.
He will. Detroit hasn't had a problem in goaltending this year with the depth of their goaltenders. Well, they ran into injury problems. They're getting healthy now. Steffen is the guy that's the healthiest, so he will be in goal tonight. He's played well so far in the playoffs. Very well, as a matter of fact.
8 blocks away from here, Tom, this afternoon, they had a baseball game. 13,000 people were there. They will have 20,000 or very close to that in this arena tonight. Some of them will stand and pay $22 and be glad of it.
All right, Mike Emmerich, Bill Clement, thank you very much. In just a few moments, we'll start to see which team will be out of touch, out of time tonight. And the Norris Division Game 2 of the Norris Division Finals straight ahead, the Blues and the Detroit Red Wings. Taking a look at our front page stories tonight, one of them out of the Motor City in Detroit, where it is apparent now that Steve Yzerman may, I emphasize may, return if the Red Wings win the Norris Division. Yzerman's been skating for a couple of weeks. There's been rumors that Yzerman will return. Bill Clement will have a live interview with Steve Yzerman later in our telecast. In Montreal, the Canadiens brass really angry that Stéphane Richer is apparently out for the year with a broken right thumb. They claim that Boston's Michael Telvin deliberately injured Richer. The league says no. They've looked at the tapes. No action against Boston. Richer is still out for the year. In Landover, Maryland last night, 162 minutes in penalties handed out between the Devils and the Washington Capitals. In Game 1 of all 4 series combined, there were only 159 penalty minutes, so it's clear that physicality will be the byword in the Brendan Byrne Arena tomorrow night. The fists may fly again between the Devils and Caps. But up next, it's the Norris Division Final on the road to the Cup. Up on ESPN is brought to you by The Road to the Cup on ESPN is brought to you by the 1988 German Detroit. Here's Mike Emmerich and Bill Clement.
Thank you, Tom. Ron Hogarth is the referee. Ray Scapanello and Randy Mitten, the linesman. The backup, Dan Maruelli. The off-ice officials from Chicago.
There's Greg Millen. The St. Louis Blues will count on him to really take them all the way. They have to. He is the number 1 guy. There is absolutely no doubt about it. His record 4-2, 3.67 goals against average. He's loose. Greg Steffen for the Detroit Red Wings has recovered from the flu. Glenn Hanlon will back him up tonight. Hanlon is healthy enough to play if he has to. Stefan is just healthier.
The Red Wings will start with Murphy, Higgins, and Ashton. Norwood and DeLorme on defense. We get to see Hall, number 16, right off. He's the right winger. Gino Cavallini on the left side, and Gilmore the center. Bothwell and Benning in back. And the puck nudged on to Brett Hall. Angles for Cavallini, and the shot went right off of Stefan. Rolled along by Ashton, but kept for a drive that is snared by Stefan. That one fired by Benning. Bothwell tips it back along, and this will be an offside call.
Gino Cavallini is on this line right now with Brett Hall along with Doug Gilmore at center. It's a good two-way line. Cavallini will really balance it out and do a lot of back-checking, a lot of defensive work. Hall obviously is counted on to do a lot of scoring, and that brings us to Joe Murphy, number 10 of the Detroit Red Wings. He is the guy that Jacques Demers has handed the assignment tonight of watching out for Brett Hall. Every time you see number 16 for the Blues, you will probably see number 10 for the Detroit Red Wings, Joe Murphy. Here's Jacques Demers. The ever-positive Jacques Demers. There's something about this man that when he speaks, you just want to believe him. He is so positive about what he says.
Zombo's pass goes by Oates, and down to take it for the icing touch-up is Paul Cavallini, and a bit of a nudge there by Oates. But a great deal of the fortunes of the Red Wings must fall on the shoulders of this young center.
You bet. And as he responded in the playoffs, you know, your situation changes so much when somebody ends up with a key injury. Okay, Yzerman goes down in early March. So all of a sudden, Oates, who really hasn't had that much ice time, and you can't expect that when you have a guy like Yzerman, he really dominates the ice time that the centermen get. Well, all of a sudden, Oates' ice time goes way up. You never know how they will react. Oates has reacted very well offensively.
Jacques Martin, the coach of the St. Louis Blues, watching this action. Todd Ewan, fistic right winger for the Blues, can't make a play, so it's Zombo trying to reach it on to Gallant, but Rick Mahar has it. Puck flipped by Paul Cavallini all the way back down, and there'll be an icing touch-up here. Puck sent over the checkered center line and over the end line and touched by a member of the defensive team, and that brings the face-off back near the opposition goaltender.
Well, don't look too hard for number 11 tonight at the Detroit Red Wings. That is Sean Burr, who had a sensational Game 1 of this Norris Division Championship Series. Sean Burr collided with Rick Zombo in practice yesterday, went into convulsions for about 3 minutes, suffered a severe concussion, wanted to play tonight, but the Red Wings said, no way. They left it up to their medical staff, and the medical staff said, no, it's too soon. He is a huge loss. They are really hurting at center tonight, and that puts even more pressure on Oates to have a good hockey game.
Puck tipped back along. Zombo will retreat on defense. Speedy Rick Mahar with a pass that went off Zombo. Todd Ewan moves in as Zombo rams Mahar. And the fans respond to that as Barr tosses on to Jim Pavis, the one-time Ranger. Pavis, the native of New York, taps one over to Oates, spins it across to Zombo. In front, tipped by Gallant. It went just wide. Jammed by Brian Sutter. Right back along to be taken by Ewan and swung out. Curling is Oates. Has Barr ahead, but a shift change on now for Detroit as they drop in. Glad you're with us tonight on ESPN. In essence, a doubleheader because we'll be joining the Calgary-Edmonton game at the conclusion of this one in progress. And, of course, Tom Mees will keep you updated on that one. It has a 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time start tonight. Fedorko taps one that is gathered in by Gordie Roberts and advanced back ahead. Under Fedorko, but over to Hunter. And Hunter pawed off by Chason. Loose puck picked up by Bob Probert, advanced on to Klima. Klima with Probert breaking, gave it to him, but he was tightly checked on the play. So back ahead now come the Blues. Thrown right back by Chason. Hunter tries, shouldered by Probert. Klima ahead, on the wing to Shabbat. Finesses Carlson, Shabbat tried to work one in front, and it's punched away. Puck kept spinning along to John Shabbat. Centers one, pinball off skates. And we get a stoppage of play as the net has become dislodged. Good start, 2:36 gone. First period we have no score.
Shabbat didn't really have a good head of steam up here, but he puts quite a move on Carlson, number 33 of the Blues. Tried to lift his stick. Carlson recovered. You see that Millen was there one way or the other. Bob Probert, one of the big hitters for the Detroit Red Wings, booms along the boards. Those two will knock heads tonight, Probert and Hunter.
Interesting, is it, that Demers said today that John Shabbat was the key factor that turned this team from 78 points last year to 93 this year. Turning with it is Pavis. Pestered on the play by McKegney, making his first appearance in the series tonight. Zombo turns it along to Nil. Nil with 6 goals in the playoffs for Detroit. Bridgman drops it, and Millen is there to handle. Millen, very active goalkeeper in the net. Sees this one go to Raglan. He was hit high and hard by Mel Bridgman. Now starting ahead with it is Herkus. Herkus with a shot. Stacking the pads was Steffen. Thrown to the slot, and Raglan chased off by Nil and then leveled to the ice by Pavis. There'll be a penalty coming up on the play. It'll be on Detroit, St. Louis to get the first power play of the game.
Wow, what a cut by Tony Herkus. Watch Steffen. He looks as if he's going to choke up on a stick. There he is. He goes right to the knob of his stick. He wants to make sure that if Herkus cuts in front, he has him. But he made the save, and we are still scoreless. Jim Pavis for elbowing after the big amount of confusion right in front of Steffen in front. Pavis cleared him out and is sitting for 2.
Yeah, I'd buy that one, wouldn't you?
You bet.
Gingras shot tipped away. Rebound, and trying to stuff it home was Gilmore. But it is pinned and back behind the net by Steffen. And the first bit of discussion going on in the evening.
Be interesting to see how St. Louis's power play does, because when we talked to Jacques Martin this morning, St. Louis's coach, he said if we can play them even 5-on-5, I think our specialty teams can beat them. There was Gilmore just trying he had just about an impossible angle, but I think if there was anybody on St. Louis's team that could slip it in an impossible angle, it'd be number 9, Gilmore.
So far in the series, of course, just one previous game, St. Louis 2 for 6 on the power play. The Red Wings came up empty.
No, I found that an interesting comment by Martin, because Detroit's power play finished 2nd overall in the regular season. Keep in mind, Steve Yzerman, as we mentioned, is not there, and St. Louis's power play was in the bottom half. They were about 13th.
Here is Hunter. Sets it up for Federico. They play catch. Federico can't handle. Delorme can. And Gilbert Delorme just moves it on down. 1:12 seconds to go on the power play. 15:45 left in the first period. We have no score. Gaston Gingras, one-time Montreal Canadian and Toronto Maple Leaf, plays the roulette wheel. Around it swirls Bothwell. Then that handcuffed Gingras, but skips over to Gilmore. Gilmore has a man at the front who took a swat. That's Federico. Controls. Gilmore reached a couple of times, but a stick of chase on. They try to play it cozy, and it's banked away.
Oh, Benning snuck in. It was cozy, all right, but Benning was all alone. If Federico shreds it through, Benning has a point-blank chance.
On with it comes Gilmore. Denied at the line by Zombo. Trying to get in deep, but failing his haul because the play went offside. 35 seconds to go on the power play. As you see, Brett Hall.
Bobby, we hear, is in attendance again tonight. Brett's father, Bobby Hall, the Golden Jet, to watch his son, the Golden Cessna. Well, you can't call him the Golden Jet yet. He needs a couple of years under his belt. But can he shoot? He will shoot from just about anywhere on the ice, and he knows where the net is. He's got such a dangerous shot that a lot of his shots will bank off people and carry with momentum all the way to the net and find their way home.
15 minutes left in this first period as the Blues try again. Hall angles around to make the play and tap deep. It went for McKegney, but to intercede is Steffen. Spins it back around. Puck kept by Gordy Roberts. Lost to Chason, and Chason flings it back down. One thing we haven't noticed Brett Hall doing, that goaltenders who still have nightmares about Bobby say that if he didn't have a play, he'd shoot right for the coconut, right for your head. Especially if there was no angle left, he'd be deep in the corner, just rocket one. Keep you moving. Now it's Norwood for Detroit. Penalty time is up. Team's back at full strength. 2 shots for St. Louis, 1 shot for Detroit. Puck angled and Paul Cavallini back as we have a shift change on for both teams. Pass comes ahead to Herkus. Herkus checked by Gerard Gallant, but it's forced in deep, and so back to handle is Steffen. Forechecking is Brian Sutter, the captain of the St. Louis Blues. 41 seconds of attack zone time for St. Louis and no shots.
Well, that power play total is not going to lead them very far. Detroit, obviously good penalty killing. I say obvious because they're such a strong team defensively.
Nice play by Chason to deny the follow-up attempt of Mahar. Tim Bothwell back to get it. Trying to pivot away from Barr. Loose puck knocked away by Ewan. Barr tries for it, and then it is forced toward the goal. but scooped up and worked right back along. Benning connects with his man at center ice. It's tipped away from Ewan by Chason, and ahead with it up the wing is Gallant. But they rule an offside play. 13:29 to go, first period from Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. 0-0.
Hey, Walter, what's up?
With great taste and just 1 calorie, Diet Coke is the one soft drink everyone's falling for.
Hi.
Hi.
1 calorie just for the taste of it. Diet Coke.
To the Stanley Cup with ESPN. Tom Mees back at our studios along with Bill Clement here at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Mike Emmerich. Pavis connects to Shabbat. Up on the wing to Bob Probert. Tries to get by Carlson and is forced off. Bob Probert persists. Got to the front of the net before losing, and it was swept back out by Gingras. Pivoting with it is Pavis. Hands over to Zombo with 13:10 to go in the first. No score, and the team's at even strength. Play breaks down as Fedorko tried to follow, but it's Shabbat to Probert, and on the wing to Klima. Score! The newlywed from Czechoslovakia makes it 1-0 Detroit.
Here he comes right at us and right at Greg Millen, but he loses control of the puck there. I had thought originally that he might have, in stopping, kicked it with his skate, but you could see that the puck was already under Millen by the time Klima stops. Watch, he loses the puck right there. He was trying to come back to his backhand. If he does, he's got a good 18 inches on his backhand side. Right there, you can see the space. He didn't have to. He lost control. Millen broke his stick on the play. It went right under him. And that man wearing number 85 has given the Red Wings a precious 1-goal lead. And I say precious because Detroit is a hard team to come back on. St. Louis needs this hockey game. I don't see how St. Louis can win this series if they fall behind 2-0. They're already trailing the series 1-0.
Ashton on the draw with Gilmore, and the Blues control. It's work to Hall, then to Gino Cavallini. Out of Bowling Green, Cavallini given a shove by Norwood, tries to center, but Ashton is there. Ashton and Norwood doing a number on Gino Cavallini, and Norwood is able to step away. Norwood able to step away from Paul Cavallini. A great move, feeds one across the goal mouth wide, as Higgins had been checked tightly by Brett Hall.
What a move by Norwood. I think that might have been the element of surprise. I'm not sure anybody knew he had that move in him.
Brett Hall with a shot that went wide. Tipped, but not out. Paul Cavallini rolling it back along, and Gilmore's pass is quickly swept away by Norwood. Oates hit hard on the play by Gino Cavallini. Puck flipped back, and Higgins will not be able to get there ahead of the man playing it now, Gordy Roberts. To Paul Cavallini, who came to this team to join his brother Gino right at Christmas time and called that a holiday gift. It is Gilmore. Leaned on by O'Connell. Tony McKegney throws one out in front that went away from Hall and is jammed behind by O'Connell. Chase on with a pass that skipped off nil. 11:42 to go. First period of play. Detroit leading 1-0 as Herkus moves in and shovels one that is acrobatically blocked and then turned aside by Greg Steffen, who has lost his goal stick. It's given back to him as the Red Wings attack, and Neal is tripped up. Delayed penalty call is on. Buckwell steps into him as they still vie for possession, but now St. Louis touches and will go on the defensive. Power play Detroit. They lead 1-0.
Volkswagen engineers have developed a remarkable fuel injection system, which gives our Jetta 17% more horsepower than before and top track speeds of over 100. Of course, there are those Volkswagen engineers who believe they've developed something no less remarkable. The brakes. 1988 Jetta, only $91.95.
One of the men that really came into his own late in the season, Tony Herkus, number 18 of the St. Louis Blues, gets a quick wrister off that really surprises Greg Steffen, but not so much that he didn't stop it. Here's the penalty to Tim Bothwell. Nil was going wide, trying to move in for another scoring chance. So here's Detroit's power play.
0 for 4 in game 1. Norwood shot, foisted away by Benning. They work it to Gallant. Tips one over to Oates. Gives it back to Norwood. Oates once more. Gallant at the front. The angle pass was for him, but it skipped away past Barr as well. Mike O'Connell, nice move, shaking Sutter. O'Connell watches, gives to the back. It's Barr looking toward Norwood, having trouble with Sutter. The Blues try to clear but can't. Bouncing puck, and Oates couldn't force it away. The Blues are able to regroup.
Kind of a sitting duck power play right there. Watch when Detroit sets up. If they do the same thing this time, nobody will move. The puck carrier, the man that's standing there with the puck, looks and looks. Nobody moves. St. Louis Blues stand there, and sooner or later, St. Louis moves to check and take the puck away. They were successful that time.
In now comes Norwood. Banks went around. Millen quickly out of the goal to stop for Big Kent Carlson, and the puck scaled out of play. 10:21 left in the first and 58 seconds to go on the power play. Like to survey the goaltenders. What about diminutive Darren Pang? What does he think of the man who scored this first goal, Peter Klima?
Peter Klima is one of the most explosive offensive players the Detroit Red Wings own. He's really taken up when Steve Yzerman's been injured, and he's a terrific one-on-one player. Now, Peter Klima has changed considerably with coach Jacques Demers. Jacques has got him playing less one-on-one hockey and more to the style of the Detroit Red Wings. He's dumping the puck in a little more, but he's still got the great, quick hands around the net. Peter Klima has become a National Hockey League player, and he's a great asset to the offense of the Detroit Red Wings.
Peter Klima has the only goal in the game thus far as Detroit angling for another on the power play. They have 35 seconds to go in it. Zombo looks and then gives over to Chason. Right back to Zombo. Chason once more. No one in the box. Blues have it well guarded. Now Probert moves there as Klima works the outside. Moving to the front. Chason, he scores!
Yeah. It doesn't matter where the net ends up. It was 10 feet off its moorings. But Ron Hogarth was there signaling, you bet, that's a goal. Here is the pass that was perfectly threaded to a streaking Steve Chason. He came all the way from his point position. There is Klima over to the side. You can't see it right now, but Chason just got in behind Gordie Roberts. And, you know, it had to be perfect. Roberts didn't really misplay. And look where Roberts is. He's back in front. He is in position. It was a perfectly executed play against a pretty stable box that St. Louis had set up.
Power play goal for Detroit. They have a lead in the series 1-0, and in this game 2-0. From the faceoff, Jim Pavisa's pass tipped deep by Mel Bridgman. Benning's pass skips away, and Steffen will set it up. Detroit with 4 shots, St. Louis with 3. Tony McKegney, the only 40-goal scorer in either lineup. Angles one to Fedorko, who tries to swing it in front but can't. Denied by O'Connell. Now McKegney, a backhander, kicked out, another shot. He hit the goal post with that one. Jim Nill starts it out, has Bridgman alongside. Nill crosses, but the play is offside going in.
Boy, Tony McKegney came within about 3 inches of getting the Blues on the board. Here he is wheeling around now. He gets his own rebound. Here, he gets inside the defender. That's just strength and determination, and it just dinged right off the post. Now, before Detroit scored their power play goal, which they just scored, Bob Probert was doing all kinds of big work right in front of Greg Millen. You can see Millen jockeying for position here. There's Probert trying to gain ground against Gordie Roberts.
9 minutes, 5 seconds to go in this first period. Carlson back, given a good shoulder on the play by Murphy. It's chopped by Hull, but read by Norwood. Forces it further. Turns it loose for Murphy. Check that. That's Tim Higgins. Along it comes now to Ashton. Ashton battling. Got it for a shot. Right on goal by Murphy. Pivoting with it is Gingras. Gingras moving on ahead. Big drive. Directed away by Steffen. Into tap deep is Hull. Gino Cavallini's pass is tapped away. Good guard to the front of the net that time by Norwood. Gino Cavallini having trouble with the shove of DeLorme. Hall comes in and is hit by Norwood. Boy, DeLorme just keeps going back and going back. The ex-St. Louis Blue just continues to jostle Cavallini with checks. Down goes Cavallini, and there'll be a penalty coming out.
Well, how long could it go on for? He kept giving him the wrestling forearm smash to the back. I expected him to grab him and ram him into the turnbuckle next. He just... Well, DeLorme is Jacques Demers' kind of player. Gino Cavallini is just trying to free the puck up along the boards. Watch the rough ride that DeLorme gives him. He keeps pushing him, shoving him, banging him from behind. There's the forearm smash, the push. More pushing, more pushing. Finally a penalty. Here's a chance for St. Louis to get on the board. They trail by 2.
Round of lights here.
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Let me know when you're ready for another round.
The Peerless washerless faucet you installed today will not only be working in the year 2001, it will still be under warranty. Peerless do-it-yourself faucets announced their spring break rebate. $5 back on selected faucets through April 30th.
Power play number 2 for the St. Louis Blues, and Bernie Federko will be in to take the draw, and he'll be opposite John Chabot. McKechnie will be on the right. Over on the left will be Hunter. And the point men will be Gilmore on the right side, and on the left it'll be Benning. The play comes back for Gilmore to slug it along. It hit off McKechnie, but is taken by Hunter. Hunter looks for McKechnie, who moves to the front. Hunter gives to Benning for a shot. Blocked away. Rebound hopped over to Gilmore. Gilmore's pass brushed away by Chabot, and the Blues must regroup. Again, the puck must precede the attacking team over that blue line, so when it comes back out, they have to recircle at center ice, and they didn't do it well that time. Offside is the call. 1:29 to go on the power play. Mark Hunter and Dale Hunter have a wager. Every spring, they both have farms near Sarnia, Ontario, and the first guy to get knocked out of the playoffs has to plow the other guy's farm. Dale and Mark are still in the running.
Must get sore on the shoulders with those straps running across him. Boy, tough. You really got to dig in to drag that plow behind you, don't you? This is Mark Hunter's only his second game back from a knee injury late in the season. He missed the entire Chicago series, and you know that this St. Louis Blues team, with as little offense as they have, they really need a guy like Mark Hunter. He's a key guy in the playoffs for them.
And Hunter nearly finessed one through, blocked away by Nil. Jacques Martin says that the absence of Hunter, injured late in the season in Washington, really hurt Brett Hull. Didn't hurt him too much, though. Playoff performance has been sensational.
Well, you know, when you got 2 right wingers that can score, it's like having a batting order that you can't pitch around. You know, if you only got the one slugger, you can pitch around it. When you got 2 right wingers, most teams only have 1 real excellent defensive left winger.
Ashton one-on-one, moving on Benning, now has to pivot away. 45 seconds to go on the power play, and he forces it in on Millen. Shift change for the Red Wings. Chabot and Tim Higgins up front for the penalty killers. As on now comes Hull. Duels with Chason. Tries to finesse away, but it's popped right back out again by Higgins. Chason and Zombo are in back. Gilmore with a little toss across to Gino Cavallini. Can't get through the checking of Zombo. And the puck drilled back down. 15 seconds to go on the power play. 6:20 left in period 1. Detroit leading the St. Louis Blues 2-0. Gingras unleashes a big blast that skipped into the seats.
Boy, the Blues were sure hoping for a better start in this hockey game. They really didn't get on track in game 1. One of the guys that kept squashing the attacks that St. Louis threw at Detroit, John Chabot. You know, Demers said, as you mentioned earlier, Mike, that he is the biggest reason Detroit went from a 78-point team last year to a 93-point team this year. And I looked in some notes that I had, and I pulled out a quote that Jacques Demers had said about John Chabot when he first came to this team. He said, "We have developed an absolutely perfect and very immediate coach-player relationship. And what Detroit was wondering for most of the season, and I think they still are, why did the Pittsburgh Penguins let him go? He was just a free agent that they signed.
And his strength with them had especially been penalty killing. Puck laid along by Bothwell, and it goes all the way back down. So Greg Steffen is there, just a little tap over, and it is hoisted back further by O'Connell. Play made back again, but this time it is Sutter who drops it back in.
Wow, it's getting worse for St. Louis. Remember the first one, what was it, 47 or 49 seconds, no shots? Well, now they've had 4 complete minutes of power play time, not 1 shot on goal.
It is Gordy Roberts stepping by one. Backhander went off his teammate Herb Raglan, and up with it now comes Klima. Klima goes to the side of Gingras. Probert moves to the front. Puck dropped along the board, but Shabbat had it knocked away by Raglan. Outlet pass by Mahard, too far for Brian Sutter, and it's dropped back along by the goaltender Steffen. Probert nicely steps away from the forechecking of Gilmore. Drops a pass over to Shabbat. Feeds one to Klima, who found on the one-time attempt. Norwood pumped it away from Gilmore. Probert centers, but right there is Gino Cavallini.
I think we'll excuse Klima for fanning on that one. He tried to swat it like a line drive out of midair.
Taking this one for the Blues is Benning. Benning just skating freely toward the Detroit line. Flips one up the wing, but it came right to Barr, and Barr speeds one ahead now to Oates. He's got a cannon. Oates in front, and couldn't get a shot away. It was knocked off apparently by Bothwell. Gilmore in deep, but Oates got there first. Puck flipped back along, but held by Zombo for a shot, and that was deflected wide. Pivoting is Oates. Looks toward Gallant. Feeds it back for Norwood. Tried for Gallant. Along it goes to Barr. Hurried centering pass. Picked off by Oates, but just that quickly he's hit by Gino Cavallini. They point it back to Zombo. Angling one out. Shot Gallant.
Sometimes you can try and do too much defensively. You end up running around, trying to do other people's jobs. Well, the Blues got out of position running around. Cavallini ended up in deep, so Gilmore, who was a center, went out to the point. It was confusing for the defense. There is Bothwell tying up one Red Wing to the side of the net. Benning was kind of in no man's land as well. The first rule of playing defense is when the team is in the attacking zone, if you don't have possession of the puck, one of you has to be in front of the net. And if one of the defensemen is not there, then at least the centerman or a winger. Nobody was in front, and Gerard Gallant just snapped it by Greg Millen. And Detroit has what has to be considered right now a big lead in this hockey game, 3-0.
They have outshot the Blues 7-5. Zombo will get one assist on the play, and the other is to Dave Barr. And those come at 15:45. Gallant's goal, there has been a change in the total because one was given to Jim Nill after the fact in a game against Toronto. So Gallant's total should only read 4. Up with this is Zombo. Fans on one try, but this is read by Hunter. Taps back along to Herkes, sets it up for McKegney. Took a good shoulder from Higgins, but still gets it across for a shot that is blocked away. That one hurried toward the net by Paul Cavallini. Puck skipped away from Herkes, taken by Higgins. Tim Higgins trying to battle his way from Herkes and moving on. Eyed up by Tim Bothwell and taken to the board. This is Hunter. Paul Cavallini then back ahead, moving on with it. And controlling at the line to swing one in on goal was Bozak. The other part of that trade with the Calgary Flames that brought Brett Hall to St. Louis. Bozak again, nicely punched away by Bridgman, and Bothwell hands back over to Gordy Roberts. Left by Nill. Then on to Bridgman with a man breaking. Shot tipped to the seats. 2 minutes, 34 seconds to go on the first. It is Detroit 3-0.
Volkswagen engineers believe our 16-valve engines should not only provide an abundance of power, but be accompanied by the technology to control it. And that's a belief from which our engineers never walk away. German engineering. The Volkswagen way.
Mr. Rosen, Mr. Esposito, and all of the crews of the Capitals and New Jersey Devils tomorrow night. ESPN, 7:30 Eastern from the Meadowlands Arena, and will that place ever be hopping? Wonder what sort of promotion the Devils will have tomorrow night. They seem to be presenting their fans with gifts for each of the playoff games.
Boxing gloves.
After that one last night, it wouldn't be surprising. That one snared by Stepanoff, Benning's toss. Bridgman banks, and along it comes to be brought back ahead. Tim Higgins lays it back over for O'Connell, but that play broke down. Paul Cavallini a second time able to connect with Hunter. Hunter with a shot, and that tipped high to the glass. The defensive play made by O'Connell. Neal hands on to Chason, and Chason just drops it back in. Klima, Chason, and Gallant. The goal scores for the Detroit Red Wings, who have a big 3-0 lead here over the St. Louis Blues. Norwood flips, and Benning is there. Looks over to Paul Cavallini, has big Todd Ewan ahead on the right. Just lofts one so that the Blues can complete a change up front as well. Shabbat tosses, but back to get it is Gingras. 90 seconds left to go in this first period. Shot total, customary in Stanley Cup playoff action in this second round, it seems. Almost every team has been held to less than 30 on the night, and a lot of single-digit totals for shots on goal in the period. Boston only had 3 in the first period at Montreal last night, for example. Here it is 7-6, Detroit with the lead there. And on the scoreboard as mentioned, 3-0. Two aside with the battle, and the fifth man comes in to take it. That's Klima. Klima got the first goal of the game. Moves on Jordy Roberts, but is fought off. And then Mahar comes in for a freight train on Klima. Puck tossed by DeLorme high and wide. In to get it is Probert. Taps it away from Gingras. Norwood able to hold. Norwood getting away from the diving Ewan. Pivots behind. Chased off by Gingras. Help came from Oates. Norwood still trying to control, and the puck just squirted over to Probert. Probert trying to shake loose. Klima shot. Held by Millen. Then dropped, and a scramble and a stoppage of play. And a little bit coming in late as well. Bob Probert and Todd Ewan.
It is no big deal.
It's a hassle.
Oh, it's called Master Care Car Service. Brakes, tune-ups.
Alignments?
No big deal. The mechanics are great. All their equipment, you'd swear they were technicians. And they stand behind their work 6 months or 6,000 miles.
Master Care.
You're covered from Maine to Missoula. These guys are so good. Fixing your car is no big deal.
Finally, taking care of your car is no big deal. Master Care Car Service by Firestone.
But I thought they just sold tires.
You don't have to be that big. Rick Mahar goes 5'8", 170. And in he comes into Peter Klima. Boom, with a little help from Roberts. And then out of that, Bob Probert had one opportunity to the front, fought his way out again, and the puck came right back to that same Peter Klima. And Klima with a ripper that seemed to be blocked off by the waffle board of Millen, and then the big pileup resulted. Ron Hogarth over talking to both of the benches about something, and Ewan is going to be leaving. Of course, only 30 seconds left in the period, so that could be even for something as minute as a minor penalty. Big Todd Ewan from Saskatoon, 6'2" and 215. In the St. Louis Blues locker room to be joined by his teammates in 30 seconds of playing time. Gingras got an interference minor at 19:30. And because of that, Detroit will have the power play. They attack 5-on-4 here in the last half minute. Puck kept by Oates. Tries a second time and shuffles one onto Barr. Back to Oates, directed toward O'Connell, but he has to give chase away from Steve Bozak. Pass is tipped, but regathered by Gallant. Then lost once more. The final 5 seconds of this period. Barr moves. He'll have to hurry a shot. Puck comes on the wing, and Gallant's shot is directed into the seats as the horn sounds to end this first period of play. 19,000 plus on hand at Joe Louis Arena. That's been the attendance for every game this year. The St. Louis Blues come off the ice. So do the Red Wings. The team in red and white, the happier one. On the strength of goals by Klima, Chason, and Gallant, it's 3-0.
No big deal.
Tune-ups? It's MasterCare Car Service.
Great tune-ups with a computer that talks to your car.
Finally, taking care of your car is no big deal. MasterCare Car Service by Firestone.
I thought they just sold tires.
Imagine you were building a town. One company could supply you with almost any kind of truck to bring you almost anything you need. One company could lease, manage, and maintain a single truck or an entire fleet. One company could help get goods to stores, people to work, kids to school. That company is Ryder. We're more than yellow trucks. We help build towns, business by business, family by family, dream by dream. Ryder. We're there at every turn.
Super Bowl champions are built on draft day. Coverage of the 1988 NFL Draft begins Sunday at noon Eastern, live on ESPN. There's no power shortage in this thunderous clash of supercharged sluggers. Top-ranked Fresno State takes on the BYU Cougars. Saturday night at 11:30 Eastern, live on ESPN.
Welcome back to our Road to the Cup studios, everyone. I'm Tom Mees, and in just a moment, we'll be going back to Joe Louis Arena in a moment. 8-6, the shot on goal differential in favor of the Detroit Red Wings. In the 4 periods of hockey that the Blues and Red Wings have played in this North Division final, the Detroit Red Wings have taken 30 shots, and 8 of them have found their way into the net. And the Red Wings and Blues set a record for the Stanley Cup playoffs this year for a least number of shots in a game. In Game 1 of the series, 41. So shots are at a premium, and for the Detroit Red Wings, they're making their shots count. 8 goals and only 30 shots on goal. And they're also doing quite well without their #1 scorer, Steve Yzerman. And speaking of Steve Yzerman, he is skating back with the club. He may be ready to return soon, and Yzerman is standing by live now with our Bill Clement. Bill?
Okay, Tom, thanks very much. Steve, I want to hear this from you. I have read about the injury that you have with the knee, and everything that I've read says that the ligament, one of the main 4, was completely detached, and the doctors have said that they are not going to reattach it. First of all, is that correct?
Yeah, actually it's a posterior cruciate ligament, and I'm not sure exactly where, but it's torn right in half. And the problem with having it repaired, what they'd have to do is graft in a new ligament, and it takes 9 to 12 months to heal, and there's no guarantee that it's going to be any better than before the operation. So we decided to take a bit of a chance and rehab it, and hopefully it'll be all right. And judging by the way things have gone so far, it feels pretty good.
Now that's the ligament that keeps it from hyperextending, from bending the wrong way, isn't
basically, it? Basically, yeah. It attaches to the femur and the tibia, and it keeps your tibia from sliding backwards and from hyperextending.
Have you, well, I'm assuming you've had a chance to actually see a replay, a TV replay of you getting hurt.
Yeah, actually the night I heard it, I stayed in the hospital and got to watch it a few times on TV, but I haven't bothered to watch it since.
Could you stand it one more time? Because we're going to run it here and get you to hopefully describe to us how the play happened. There you go.
Well, I got the puck at the blue line and cut in on the defense, and as you see right now, my feet kind of slid out, and as I was going towards the net, I kind of got my knees up. I had enough time, and I wasn't really worried going into the net because, like you see so many players sliding into the net, it's not really a big deal. and I was kind of, I was in pain, but I was more surprised than anything that I had injured myself, because not just myself, but hundreds of players have crashed into the net before.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I remember being injured, and some players have said it's not so much the pain, but they somehow could tell when they're seriously injured, whether the pain is a lot or whether there's not much pain at all. Did you have any idea that you were that seriously hurt at the time?
Yeah, I knew I hurt it pretty bad, because I was just sort of laying there, and it felt like my leg was just kind of hanging there, and I knew I'd had minor knee injuries before, and guys know, that's not bad, and they kind of limp off, but it was a very different feeling and one I hadn't experienced before, so I knew it was pretty bad.
Well, you said that it's coming along. You look like you're dressed for a workout. Have you been working out in the room, riding the bike or something tonight?
Yeah, actually, on game days we get a chance to come in the morning when the team skates and work out twice, and before the game get on the bike and ride the bike for a little while, and watch the game from the TV in the locker room.
Maybe we could get specific. Just what does it look like? Will we see Steve Yzerman back this year if the Red Wings can continue to win?
I think so. I can't really say yes, or I can't really predict a date. Next week I'm going to be tested by our team doctor. They're going to x-ray it and test and compare it to the other knee for how tight it is, and that'll be at the end of next week, and we'll be able to get a pretty good idea of when I'll be back. But right now we're just taking it 1 week at a time, and I think if the team continues to play well and win, I think I'll be able to play. I can't really say definitely, but in my heart I think I will.
Well, good luck with it. I know a lot of people are anxious to see you back on the ice, with the exception possibly of the remaining opposition in this year's playoffs. Steve Yzerman, thanks for being with us.
Thanks.
Steve Yzerman, captain of the Red Wings. Stay with us. Tom Mees will have highlights of last night's action around the NHL playoffs, and we have 2 periods to go here at Joe Louis Arena. The Red Wings lead the Blues after 1 period by a score of 3-0. We'll be right back.
When you've got cable, you've got the ultimate in television. A world of choices coming into your home. Discover our difference. Come on, climb aboard for unlimited adventure and find something for the kid in everyone. Cable has all your favorite characters. From Mickey and Minnie to Wally and the Bee. Cable is fun and games. It also stirs the imagination of young minds. Discover our difference during National Cable Month.
Hi folks, my name's AJ, and I'm here to tell you about T.O.'s Chrysler Plymouth, your exclusive Chrysler Plymouth dealer in the Valley. When you buy from T.O.'s, you get the best possible price, fine courteous service before and after the sale, and the finest warranty in the industry.
How can my brother promise you all this? Because our dad's the dealer, so come on in.
To T.O.'s Chrysler Plymouth.
In Toronto.
Get set for head-on power, blinding speed, more passing, more scoring. The 50-yard indoor war returns. Arena football puts you up close where the action is right in your face. A brand new season kicks off when the New York Knights battle the Los Angeles Cobras. Live Saturday, April 30th, only on ESPN.
On Road to the Cup, let's take a couple minutes now to catch you up in case you missed last night's action in the Wales Conference. It was divisional finals in the Patrick and the Adams division, with Boston and New Jersey seeking to even their best-of-7 series with Montreal and the Washington Capitals. Let's take a look first at the Adams and then the Patrick division finals. The story of last night's Boston-Montreal game at the Forum could be summed up in 2 words: Reggie Lemelin. That save on Stephen Richer, and this save on Claude Lemieux, emblematic of the number of big saves made by Lemelin on the night. But the biggest play in the game is this one. Richer closing in again for Montreal. Michael Telvin with a slashing motion gets Richer in the right thumb. Richer is out probably for the season with a broken right thumb. The Canadiens are asking the league office to investigate. While all that was going on, though, Bob Sweeney put Boston up by a score of 1-0 with his sweeping effort on a rebound past Brian Hayward. And then Ray Bork, the man who was limited to only 1 shot in Game 1, scores a big goal that made it Boston 2, Montreal 0. Despite a typical Montreal Canadiens third-period comeback, Boston hung on for a 4-3 victory. They evened the series. Reggie Lemelin was the story.
I just gave us that much more confidence. He played unbelievable tonight for us. He's played all well for us all year, and You know, I tell you, when you get that type of goaltending, you're going to go a long way, and you know, he did a great job for us.
As for Boston coach Terry O'Reilly, he had to be very pleased indeed with the effort shown by his team in Game 2.
Well, we played a strong game. We came out really intense. I thought Montreal had quite a number of good scoring opportunities, but Reggie, the way he played the game, he just gave us so much confidence. And I think we had an awful lot to make up for after Monday night. We weren't ready Monday night.
Game 2 of the Patrick Division Finals in Landover, Maryland, as you can see, was a very physical affair in every sense of the word. But when the Caps and New Jersey Devils settled down to play hockey, one man dominated. Aaron Broughton of the New Jersey Devils had the hat trick. In fact, one line dominated. The high-scoring Broughton, Verbeek, and Muller line really powered the New Jersey Devils to only their second win in franchise history at the Capitol Center. When Bruce Driver's shot was tipped in by Aaron Broughton, it was apparent that the New Jersey Devils were going to even the series at 1. Aaron Broughton was the man of the hour for the Devils, and his teammates knew it.
Yeah, well, this game is like the turnaround point. We came into their building, split with them. Now we're going home, and we know they're going to be emotional games. So, basically, the way we're feeling that, we have the home ice advantage now.
We raised our level of intensity. In Game 1, I don't feel we were really focused on the series yet. We'd had a four-day layoff, and after going at a real torrid pace, the final stretch of the season in our first playoff series, I think it was just a little too much time off for the fellows. They had done well, and we're kind of enjoying how well they had done, and we really weren't focused on that first game. But tonight we came with a good level of intensity and focused on the 60 minutes of hockey.
There's no doubt about it. The New Jersey Devils and the Boston Bruins have to feel a bit better about their chances now to advance to the Wales Finals. They're going home after a split on the road. And ESPN's Road to the Cup will continue in a moment. We'll take a look at the Bud Light scoreboard. Our score after one period from Detroit. The Red Wings are flying over St. Louis 3-0.
Drive with confidence on B.F. Goodrich XLMHT steel radials from Tire Corral, designed for all seasons to deliver excellent traction in rain or snow. You can rely on the XLMHT steel radial from Tire Corral for a smooth, quiet ride, dependable year-round performance, and long mileage too. Go with names you can trust. Tire Corral and B.F. Goodrich. The XLMHT radial is now sale priced at Tire Corral locations in Lower Borough, Latrona Heights, Leechburg, North Apollo, and Ford City.
Here's Fred Zeringer with reason number 8 to buy your next car or truck at AZ Chevrolet in Penn Hills.
Rebates up to $1,200 on Novas, $750 on Celebrity and Camaro. Save up to $1,700 on new Berettas and Corsicas. And to celebrate the sunshine, we'll give you a beautiful 8-passenger picnic table, no extra charge when you buy any new or used car or truck. Only at AZ. AZ Chevrolet. We treat you like one of the family.
AZ Chevrolet, Frankstown Road, Penn Hills.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the National Hockey League, Mr. John A. Ziegler, Jr.
The National Hockey League, along with other professional sports organizations, supports the President's Sports Drug Education Program. The goal of this program is simple. It is to keep our young people free from drugs. I'd like you to listen to a lady who really cares. She's given a great deal of her time to this program, Nancy Reagan.
Thank you, John. You're right. I do care. And I'm greatly concerned about the epidemic use of drugs by school-aged children. Sports figures, especially hockey players who are so respected by our young people, can help lead the way in our fight to defeat drug abuse. I'm so pleased that NHL players like Wayne Gretzky, Mike Bossy, and Rod Langway have joined this effort. Together, we'll make a great team, and together, we'll win this fight.
Just a programming reminder that following tonight's coverage of the Red Wings and Blues from the Motor City, we'll be going up to the province of Alberta. The Olympic Saddledome in Calgary will join in progress Game 2 of the Smythe Division Finals between the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. Edmonton leading that series 1-0. And our score after one at Joe Louis Arena, it's Detroit 3 and St. Louis nothing. Back with the second period in a moment.
From the United States, Bud Light Jones, Bud McKenzie. His name is Bud McKenzie. Yeah. Jumping for the USA. The Olympic gold is
Godspots water my night with the cold spots light.
It is no big deal.
It's a hassle.
No, it's called Master Care Car Service. Brakes, tune-ups,
alignments.
No big deal. The mechanics are great. All their equipment, you can swear they were technicians. And they stand behind their work 6 months or 6,000 miles.
Master Care.
You're covered from Maine to Missoula. These guys are so good. Fixing your car is no big deal.
Finally, taking care of your car is no big deal. Master Care Car Service by Firestone.
But I thought they just sold tires.
You know, there are a lot of places where you can look for an auto part. But here's where you'll find it. Napa has parts for imports and other hard-to-find parts. So come to Napa first. We've got your part.
Your neighborhood Napa Auto Parts store has more than 125,000 parts for the typical American car. Whatever that is.
Just underway, second period. Power play on for Detroit. They have a 3-0 lead as Barr jostled off the puck by Gordy Roberts. Norwood retrieves. One of Jacques Demers' reclamation projects handed it over, and now ahead with it comes Oates for Gallant, and he thought it was going to go on the wing for Barr and just allowed it to go there, but the Blues are able to throw it back.
That's one of those deals, if you're not sure, you almost have to play it. Gallant guessed that somebody was there. He had already gone in too far, and he missed.
Oates has Barr breaking, has a man in front. The pass handcuffed him, and the rising shot by Gallant was to the glass. Sutter chased off by Oates. Puck kept by Norwood, but they say outside the line, and so a halt to play on the offside call.
Brian Sutter going off the ice. He's finished his shift killing a penalty. The inspirational leader of the Blues. You know, he was really put into a different role by Coach Jacques Martin this year, and that was a checking left winger. He had played the power play for so many years in St. Louis. I asked Jacques Martin this morning how he reacted to it, and he said, you know, he accepted that role, and let's face it, it's not as glamorous a role. There's Jacques now. He accepted that challenge the way he has accepted virtually every challenge that's ever been handed him as an athlete. He is a true leader and a guy that I guess has really carried on the tradition that Barclay Plager started in St. Louis of really becoming the note on the chest, the emblem of the St. Louis Blues. Now Brian Sutter's name is synonymous with the St. Louis Blues, just like Barclay Plager's was for so many years.
Right. 9 years their captain. It's interesting you mentioned the inspirational leader of the Blues. I think he's also the inspirational leader of the family, too. Sutter family had as many as 6 brothers, all playing in the NHL at once. That reduced to 5 this year. As on now comes Shabbat. Power play still with 15 seconds. Chason flips one in front that was directed away by Paul Cavallini and drilled back down. Greg Steffen slides it along. Zombo passes to Chason. Has Klima, but is pestered by Bozak. Penalty time is up. 18.5 minutes to go. Second period of play. Detroit ahead in the game, 3-0 over the St. Louis Blues. The Red Wings lead in the series 1-0. And later on tonight, we'll be joining in progress the Edmonton Oilers and Calgary Flames with Game 2 of that one from the Olympic Saddle Dome. Benning slides on to Paul Cavallini, then right back again to Benning. His pass is tipped up the wing and worked back ahead now for Hall, who faked the shot. Chason just bumped him off and can play. Ship change on for St. Louis. Probert can't handle. Gordy Roberts can. And he'll have to chase deeper because of Shabbat's checking. Tim Bothwell has a little trouble, but now works on to Gino Cavallini. Feathers a pass to Gilmore. Gilmore feeds one across, nearly poked into the net by the back checking of Gilmore.
He stopped it. His eyes had to be as big as silver dollars. He just about put it in the net, and when he pulled it away, how much space did he have? He just missed it by a couple of inches.
Here comes Gilmore again. Gilmore, yeah, well, it won't happen this time, but he'll get a penalty for that move. And so St. Louis will get a power play on the check by DeLorme. Gilmore having words with the bench, but it'll be a St. Louis power play. So far, the Blues have been held scoreless.
If you could ask for a truck that goes wherever you want to go, and you've got the performance answer, Toyota 4x4. Ask for rugged good looks and style and get the bragging rights that go with them. Don't compromise. Don't settle for less than Toyota quality. Now who's looking out for number one?
Toyota.